Hello there, survivors, and welcome back to ARK Survival Ascended. We're back on Ragnarok, checking out the map again, and it's a big one today because we need to decide what and where to build because there's so many good spots. There's so many cool places. There's amazing ruins. There's amazing biomes. There's so many options. There's caves. There's pretty much anything and everything that you would want to. And then of course we have so many options of different styles that we could go for building. So who knows what to do first? There's too many options. I can't decide what to do. So today's stream, I want to check out the map. I want to find the best base locations, and I want to see what builds we should get started with to start off Ragnarok. I have made one build, as you can see. Made a little boathouse. Tutorial for this is coming up very shortly because I've already recorded it, both with cosmetics, custom cosmetics, premium cozy cabins, as well as just using vanilla structures and the frontier textures. So two options for that one. But yeah, I'm excited. Ragnarok is looking absolutely awesome. So, you know, this is a PvP live. This is the best PvP you'll ever see because there's only me on this server. Only me building builds. But hello there, everyone. Welcome in. How are you all doing? How are you enjoying Ragnarok? I'm enjoying it. I've loved it. Every moment so far. It's great exploring, seeing the new bison, seeing the new biomes, seeing the new ruins, seeing everything. The new little drakelings. Everything is quite nice, but mostly just having this awesome map back, having all the variety of different biomes in you know, one map is quite nice to have. So today we're gonna explore a lot. We're gonna decide on some best build spots and hopefully some future projects that we should undertake. But first, let's start with a little look of this this new base, this brand new base. I finally built a little raft. I haven't built one raft on ARK all this time, and now with some of the new smaller pieces, I was like, yeah, let's try one. Very compact, very small, so definitely within the limit that you're allowed on a raft. Yeah, and I kind of like it. It's nice and cutesy. I kind of scaled it around the little mast that we have, so I couldn't go too big. But yeah, you have a little bit of the utilities of the smithy and the forge, as well as a little bit of storage around. And then we also have a small little cabin here with a bed and some extra storage. So yeah, a little bit of what you need. And then this is my boathouse. Someone had this as a suggestion on my Discord. I've got a channel where people can leave build suggestions of things they would like to see me build, and one of them was a boathouse, and I was like, yeah, that seems like a nice starter base because, well, you have a nice place to park your raft here, as well as potentially, you know, having some water tames here instead. You can park your flies on these docks. They should be quite safe. And we have a lovely little house cabin as well to utilize, and we have a dino gate on the other side, so you can quite easily take some dinos inside as well, right? So you have a bit of everything, which I think is quite nice early on, because you can just take in your tames, you know, bring them inside, and they should be safe. They should be safe. We got cats hanging out, cozy little bit. Got some of the new drakelings. All of them are in this build just to hang out, basically. Some really cool windows. It was also the first time that I used the cozy cabins cosmetic for anything else than just the awesome grass that it has. But yeah, it's got some really nice skins on it. Really nice cabin vibes. Who would have guessed? Look at this little guy. You shit out basically something that's bigger than your body. That's impressive, man. Very impressive. Some raptors. And then we've got the crafting and the storage right here as well. Very nice. And a little guy there. They are quite cute, aren't they? And then we have the bedroom up here. Little guy chilling out here. Little dodo as well. And a little bedroom. Just a nice nice and cozy boathouse. So yeah, the tutorial for that, I just recorded that earlier today. So that will be up very soon. The tutorial for the raft is already up. That elephant is coming suspiciously close. But I don't think it can... Yeah, you see? I've got a new... some admin tools that allow me to set regions. And I basically can set it so that wild dinos aren't allowed inside. And as you can see, he physically can't go any further. So he's just being pushed back. He can't get close to my build. Keeping my build safe. Without dinos walking right through it all the time. But yeah, so that's the first build I've done on Rag. And yeah, I need to decide what else to build. I've already posted a community post on my channel. If you go on my channel to post, you see it. It's a vote for some of the ruins that are on this map. Deciding which one I should start with rebuilding. Because once again, there's so many options and so many potential of really cool rebuild projects. So we kind of need to just decide where to start. So many options, so many cool locations. So yeah, today I want to take a little bit of a slower look around the map, because we did, of course, the first look where we kind of flew around everything. I just want to take some time, explore, write down coordinates, maybe come up with some ideas for specific locations, find caves, because I don't really know about caves, and maybe I'll do a build specifically for a cave, like a specific cave build, if there's a really cool spot, you know. We'll see. There's so much to explore, so much to do. We got some sharks here as well. I think one of my, yeah, there we go, there it is. My little ship out here, ready to sail the seas. I didn't actually include this giant castle on the ruin rebuild poll. I definitely could. The reason I didn't include it right away is because, well, this one, of course, usually has a lot of bats and stuff in it. Which I guess if you build enough, they should stop spawning. But yeah, you know, it's a bit risky, isn't it? But it is a pretty big one, and of course with the cave axes and everything, would be a cool one. So we might do this at some point. I mean, I expect that we'll do many builds on Rag. Even when new maps have been released, we'll probably keep coming back to this one, because there's just so much cool stuff to do. But yeah, I kind of want to start finding some spots for specific builds. I've got a few build projects that I would really like to do and that I need to find a good spot for. I would like to do a western town at some point, with, most importantly, a ranch and a barn for the bison. I would like to do Jurassic Park at some point, so we need to find a good spot for that as well. And we want to probably do a little Viking build as well, so we're looking for a location for that. We're probably gonna do ruin rebuild, so we'll definitely keep an eye out on those locations, and, you know, kind of see if the inspiration sparks any ideas for specific places. For example, this one is, I mean, you probably can't really rebuild this bridge because it's such you know, crooked. It's completely fallen apart, but it is still a pretty cool location. You could definitely build on top of that part of the bridge, and you also have these ruins here, so you could build something right on top of here, maybe to kind of embrace the civilization that used to be here, you know. Maybe do some cool architecture that kind of fits in this area, because there's a lot of these cool statues and pieces of history around like those, which are quite cool. So I was thinking maybe some kind of like maybe like a Aztec temple, something like that could be really cool, or you know, do some jungle-y inspired building here, because there's a lot of cool things you could do with that. I kind of want to make sure that I've got options in all the biomes, so that we can kind of you know, switch out whenever we want to, because this is just a little little structure left. Could rebuild that. It's not very big, but There's a lot to discover. Lots to find. So that's kind of what we want to do today. Kind of make a list of good locations. Take a mental note, and then hopefully after today I know what I'll be doing. We might start building today. It kind of depends if we find something and we have a good idea for the location. Kind of depends on that. Kind of just want to make sure we pick the right one, right? Because we can only do so many builds at a time. So we want to make sure we pick the right spot. Utilize the time as best as we can. So yeah, let's just kind of go around the map, find some good spots. But if you found some good spots on your travels and discoveries and you think, yeah, that's something you should definitely build, or that's some place you should definitely build at, let me know. There's a lot of cool waterfall places on the map. Build a castle in the canyon. Who knows? Who knows? There we go. Nice place of water. I really like that there's so many different biomes. Like there's a lot of cool options. Actually, this spot is pretty cool as well. I think this is also in the post I made about which ruins I should be built, because I can imagine that you've got some cool statues here. I think you could build something cool in the middle maybe, and you have these kind of monkey statues as backdrops, which is quite cool, you know. There's even more. Yeah, there's a ruin down here as well, which we could potentially turn into something. Yeah, the Highlands is definitely a high potential area, isn't it? The canyon is pretty cool as well. I really like the look of this. And there's actually some pretty decent spots in here. Like there's a few like bigger platforms along the sides that you could definitely do some good building on. Like, I mean, look at these giant waterfalls. Of course, you do have the rivers flowing through, but you could utilize that. And then there's a great location over here. This is actually on my community server. This is where my tribe and I are currently going to start building. So quite a cool spot. Beautiful views, of course, of this whole valley. Yeah, there's quite a lot of high potential places, isn't there? I mean, the bridge itself. The bridge itself is pretty good. I was amazed at how different the new castle is in size and depth of the caverns beneath. Yeah, there's so many good things. I personally, I mean, I didn't play AC that much, but I played mostly on Ragnarok when I did. And for me, it's like the perfect blend of nostalgia and improvements. It's really nice. It's really good. All those new locations and the upgraded ruins, they look very cool. This is definitely a possible location, like rebuilding the bridge as a base, and you even have the potential of like turning this watchtower into a little outpost here. Very nice. Got some snowy areas over here too, and then we have another lovely valley, which this is definitely also a really nice area with the stream here and like the hills between the mountains. It's just a really cool spot. I think there's a pretty flat area over here, right? Yeah. So this is a pretty cool location for like a bigger build, because there's so much space. Now potentially a western town could definitely fit here, because I kind of want to not build it in the desert, because we've done that. We've been there, we've done that. So I kind of want a different biome for western town, and I think this could definitely work. Although I guess if you go by the bison spawn, they wouldn't really spawn here, but that doesn't matter. We could pretend they do. Because you could build a lovely little town here, maybe a little western town, have the train going through this landscape, and then maybe I'll build my bison ranch somewhere up here, you know? Could be doing that. Could be doing that right next to Green Up, so an easy spot to find back home. I mean, sounds pretty good. And then another ruin I think I put in the poll is the is this one in the swamp. It's so cool. It's a pretty cool castle. There's definitely some potential of like rebuilding, you know, adding some towers on top of these, and we have the main thing. You could probably build something on top of here if you can get the support. Maybe you can make that work. There's definitely places here where you could add your builds on top. And of course, just utilizing the builds that are already here as well. Like, you have a pretty main... Also, I don't know if this is just my server messing up, but there's a crazy amount of cats in this castle. This is like a cat castle. Like, look at this. There's only cats in here. There's only cats. I don't know if that's my server doing weird things, or this is just intended and this castle has literally been taken over by cats. But there's only cats here. Look at all these cats. If you want a cat, check this spot out, because if it's true, this location in the swamp is cat heaven or hell, because you might get jumped a lot. But yeah, look at this. I've never seen this many cats in one spot in the wild. Like, they just own the place. But yeah, this is definitely a cool place, and it's in the swamp. It's kind of unique, right? Having like a very unique swamp location here, different to most of the swamps we see. And I kind of like the idea of having like a very ruined castle, but maybe slightly rebuild it. What was the area you were showing the other day where the new ruins are with people names in it? Oh yeah, we can visit that in a little bit. It's really cool. I mean, I'm really not impartial because my name is there, of course, but it's a really cool spot. Top right of the map on the big new island is a really cool spot on top of the mountain. Castle with CKF. Yeah. Love a good castle. Definitely it's time to start building castles on this map. There's more ruins here as well, so if I would rebuild the castle in the swamp, I would probably also undertake and build like I guess like the town around here. Rebuilding some of these structures, although very dangerous area. Could be quite cool. I mean, there's quite a few builds here. Not sure how feasible this would be, but I set up the ruins right next to that because it's... Oh, but these ones you mean? Yeah, it's quite cool. It's quite unique, you know, right? Living in the swamp, and this swamp feels quite different from most that we have. And a ruin base is always cool. So yeah, there's definitely potential here. And then this whole new island, that's actually also a really good spot, right? Because there's, again, lots of flat grounds to work with. So it's looking really cool, really nice. And I could definitely see building, you know, a town here or some kind of big build, because there's a lot of flat spots. Pretty nice background. And yeah, all the space I'll ever need. For some reason my bison spawns are broken. I don't know what it is. It's both on my community server as well as this server, but that it makes sense because we have the same kind of settings and mods most of the time. But I don't really know what is causing it, because I removed the creature mods and it was still not really changing anything, so I don't know. But yeah, this part of the map, it's just such a big island. But pretty much this entire island is like prime for building because it's so flat. It's very nice. Like, I love the way this looks, the aesthetics. It's a very nice place, and you have a little bit of a higher place there as well between the mountains that you could utilize. Again, still relatively flat. We even have this plateau here at the back too, so there's definitely a lot of potentially good areas here as well where we could build something, you know. This could be, just saying, this could be Jurassic Park Island. We could just say this is where I'm going to build like an entire park, starting with a visitor center all the way through dino pens and everything. And we just go crazy with Jurassic Park builds on a whole island. Could be, you know, could be. It feels like a decent spot for it because so much flat space. And it's been a project that I've been wanting to do for so long, but I've always said to myself, no, I'll probably wait until Ragnarok because that feels like a good map to do the giant Jurassic Park build on. Because, yeah, it feels like one of those maps that you'll keep around forever. This island actually is also really cool. I don't know if you guys have seen this one yet, but it's a little bit smaller. It's very nice. I love the look of this and the colors and everything. Again, there's a lot of cool features here to enjoy, like just the layout, the roughness of the rocks here. You have, of course, access to the ocean quite easily. There's quite a lot of ruins here as well. So first of all, we have this little site where you kind of have some kind of farmland in like different layers. So I think it would actually be quite cool to turn this back into proper farming lands. Maybe build some kind of farm up here, you know, build it right up there, and then you could rebuild some of these ruined structures as well. We have a lighthouse and some buildings up here as well to kind of rebuild and maybe add some of our own builds too. You have a lot of infrastructure with the stairs and everything, and then little areas like this which give a lot of character to this island, which is quite cool. And then I believe, I kind of forget where it is, but there is also a mine somewhere. I have kind of forgotten how to get into it. Is it just in the house? No, right? No, it's not. I've forgotten where the entrance is. But the entrance might be over here. But there is a lot of infrastructure here. Is this the entrance? This might be the entrance. Yes, this is it, I think. Is it? No. I forgot where the entrance is. I found it earlier. But, yeah, this is a good island. So, by the way, if you want to know where this is right up here. Let me find this entrance. I found it before. Why can I not find it again? I guess we could also take the other entrance. There's a water entrance to this place as well. So you could swim in here with your water tames or your raft. Lovely little cave area. And then you have this whole build-up structure. So, yeah. You have like a perfect dock and breeding area for water tames. And then you could go all the way up. You have some room that you could utilize here. There's definitely big potential here as well for a cool build. Like turn the island into a perfect base or something, you know. So yeah, it brings us all the way up here. Oh, so yeah, it's literally just this tiny little entrance. That's the entrance to all of this beauty. So yeah, that's definitely really cool. Jurassic Ark Rebirth. Exactly. Timing would be pretty good, right? To start doing some Jurassic builds. So I think that's definitely one. And I think right now, this is the prime contender to be Jurassic Island for me. This might be where I'm going to build it. I just feel like that would be nice because lots of flat ground for big Jurassic inspired builds. Potential to do water pens here as well. And yeah, I think it would just be really cool to do like a whole series of different dino pens designed either directly inspired from what we see in the movies or just, you know, kind of spin-offs similar but for different tames, so that you could basically, you know, build like an enclosure for any type of tame. And of course you could switch them around because, I mean, if I build a raptor pen, who am I to tell you that you can only use raptors in there? You could easily switch out the characters. This island also feels like it could be a fun project, turning this island into a base specifically. Then we have some more of the smaller islands over here. Don't really know if that is anything particular. Well, there is more ruins here, that is true. There is another little ruin island here that you could rebuild. There is definitely a lot of potential there. And then we have some more islands over here, a little bit more of the, not really deserty vibes, but at least more the tropical dry vibes, right? Like, I guess it is a little bit deserty according to all the spawns that are here. Definitely also a really cool, unique area. Not quite sure what types of builds would fit well in this area necessarily, but I just like the fact that Reg has this much variation in landscape. Like, there's so much to do. Normally you would have gone from the island to the scorched earth to kind of get the variation, and then the center is kind of more of the island biomes, but just bigger and crazier, right? And this feels like it actually has some cool, unique places. Then we have this area, which looks really cool. It's a little bit hilly, but I'm sure there's some really good potential here as well for some nice builds. Then we have some more forest with a beautiful stream here. I love this stream. So I could definitely see some cool cabins in the woods here, right? This feels like a cool cabin in the wood area. And there we go. Oh, and this is the valley we just were at. We have a little redwood as well here. Like, not a lot of redwood trees that you could build tree houses in, but you have a few and some decently tall ones. So hopefully, if they have some good snap points, we could definitely build a cool tree house here at some point. And then we have a little bit more of the dead forest here, or at least the trees have no leaves. So that's another cool biome. Oh, and I forgot, someone was asking for the ruins with the names. That's over here. I've got a video working on it. That's probably going to be out tomorrow. It's located over here, but tomorrow I'll have a video of me kind of going around this place, as well as the reaction of Lols at Lance and Shadow, my friends that I met on Monarchy. Well, Lance I met before, but Shadow at least I met on Monarchy. And I asked Squirrel as well, but I kind of told her the secret before, so she didn't record a reaction. But I've got a video with that. It's really funny because they're both so like mind blown, and they don't understand what's happening because they didn't know, of course, that this was happening, and they were like, how did this happen? Because it's just such a weird feeling, right? Like, we make videos, of course, but still we don't expect to see our names back in the game. Like, it's such an unreal thing, and I didn't believe it was real until I saw it, and even then I was like, am I just dreaming? Am I just sleep deprived because I didn't sleep too much because of the launch? But my name's still there, I checked. The Wyvern Cave, actually, this cave is so cool. I would love to do a build here, but that's of course not very realistic for a survival playthrough. But imagine building like a cool dragon den kind of build here. Would be so cool. The lighting in here is pretty cool, especially with these shipwrecks and stuff. So yeah, there's a lot of potential, but maybe not very realistic or safe to build. Then there's definitely some good spots around here too, because there's, you know, these flat areas around. Got another big valley here, which maybe a little bit more mundane, more simple, but I think there's definitely some nice spots you could pick around here, although you do have some scary neighbors there, of course. But yeah, up here there's definitely also some decent flat areas where you could work with quite well. And then of course we have another river. There's so many rivers and waterfalls. Definitely, if you enjoyed those, there's going to be so many places. And there we go, another cave. There's so many little caves to discover as well. I'm gonna really have to spend some good time, because I kind of think it might be cool to do to find like a really cool cave that has potential and do like a specific build for the cave. The only downside is that most of the build will probably be very specific to that location, but in case you want to build in a cave and it is by any chance that cave, that could be cool, right? Could be cool. All right, Tyler, thanks for tuning in. Thanks for stepping by. Let's see. There's a lot of snow area as well, which I would love to do some more snow builds. Maybe a Viking town in the snow. Although the only reason why I don't like building in the snow too much is snow tends to get into the interiors. I haven't actually tested this on Rag. I don't think so. Oh, I've got a load of stuff in my inventory. Is there still snow on the structures? There is not. Interesting. So I guess that means we can just build in the snow. If there's no snow effects on them. That would kind of mean that we can build in the snow. I mean, it's going to be very cold, of course. I don't know. How realistic is it that you could have a base in the snow and survive in there? I am not very good at survival, as you might not have guessed, because, you know, you would probably expect I'm great. But I have little experience surviving the murderous snow out here. Could you survive here? Could you, if I build a base here, is it that unrealistic? I mean, I guess I could still build it. You could always build it somewhere else. But, because there is some very pretty spots in this snow biome. It is probably the coolest snow biome we have so far. Like, I really like it. I love the textures here on the ice. But just the mountains and everything. Guess we would have to be careful. I mean, not really for my builds per se, but to be realistic, we probably don't want to build it right next to a wyvern spawn. But yeah, there is some really cool cool potential. Like this area is quite nice. And then of course the areas surrounding the canyon, there's a lot of options here as well. This would actually be a really good spot as a base as well, like quite high, decently flat spot, or at least workable, and some amazing views of like a whole lot of different biomes. This down here, this valley here as well, building down on this island in the middle of this lake. Very cool backdrop. Murder Snow Village, we will give it a try for science. Exactly. Would love if you could make a Highland medieval bison and sheep ranch. Yes. Yes, I feel like the bison builds are gonna have to be a thing. Definitely have to be a thing. There we go. Loving these griffins. It's so nice. I'm so happy that Rag is finally here. Yeah, this area is actually also very, very nice. I love this valley. This valley is it's quite cool, isn't it? Maybe a little bit dangerous here and there, but build like a little house next to the lake. Why not? Why not? I guess technically building a Viking village on this place would actually be really cool, right? Because this is Viking Bay. So building like the Viking build somewhere around here. I mean, this is relatively flat. You could do some Viking builds here. Because there's not really a lot of land here. And I also don't feel like these palm trees scream Viking. But maybe down here we could make like a little village. Maybe they're the ones that raided the castle. That could work. Could be cool. Could be cool, right? I mean, the castle itself is definitely also a good spot to build on. But to be fair, there's so many good locations around this area. Because this is all super flat as well. For big bases. You got some decent spots up here too. Like, there's a lot of potential here. Lots and lots of potential. Yeah, I will definitely be doing... So basically what I've thought of before we finally got Rag is that I'm going to have to start doing some castle builds. And whether I stream them or record them, I will make sure that I record or stream every part of it so that we can easily turn it into videos, because of course there's no way I'm building a castle and I'm then going to re-record it for a tutorial, because that is insane for a castle build. So I'll probably do those live. And I kind of want to do at least a castle with CKF and then a castle with Castlecraft skins, so that you have both an option for if you play with mods and an option if you just anywhere, because all you would need to do is get the Castlecraft skin and you could build castles that look pretty cool anywhere. So definitely some options. Oh, this is pretty cool as well. Look at this little cave area. There's so many caves to find. There's so many caves. 61, 42. 61, 42. What's over there? That's where we just were. If you're building a castle on stream, I'll be willing to check for sure. Yeah, I feel like it's time. It's time to do some castle builds. Actually, fun fact, for my community server, I will be building a CKF castle as the community center, and that's probably the first castle that I'll stream. I haven't really done a lot with the keep tier yet, though. 61. Okay, that's 61. So somewhere here. But what is here? Have you thought about turning your build into template? The problem with the templates, I've been getting this question a lot, is the fact that my builds are usually way bigger than the limit. And there is not really an easy and quick way to select different sections of a build. You either auto-select everything, and then if you run out of space, it kind of randomly decides which ones to include and which ones it doesn't. So that means that even if you would try to do multiple sections, you would have to go in by hand and basically, you know, select one by one, and that could take a very, very long time. So I don't know yet. I really don't know. I'm gonna have to check it out and think about it. Also, how would I share them? You know, in the best way. I don't know. I haven't really checked out how you share them. I know there's like you can export them and then there's like a text document or something that you get. But I don't know if that would be for like if I share it with members or I don't know. I have to check it out. I will, especially for some of the easier builds, the smaller builds, I'll probably start with those. The starter bases, and I say smaller builds, usually they're not that small. I mean, 2,000 pieces is still a pretty decent build, right? So yeah, it's something I have to check and see. And then also because sometimes I just pick a cool location and it's not entirely flat, and then I use ASR foundations to make up for the fact that it's not flat, so I stack them and it's stuff. So if I would make a template about that, you wouldn't be able to build it on official, because it wouldn't recognize the foundation, because it recognizes its ASR, and I don't think you would be able to place it then without ASR, which is problematic as well. So I kind of need to check out, see what is possible, but I will be looking into it. I'm kind of hoping that maybe at some point they will up the limit. That would be really cool, but I will slowly but surely, after the first, you know, little bit of excitement about Rag, I'll probably start looking into what builds that I've made in the past do fit in the limit. So I could turn them into templates quite easily. Because let's be honest, it's been a year and a half or something since Ascended released, so I have made a lot of builds. And most of them I think you could still use. Like most of them I think still nice enough that you could use them. So yeah, it's definitely something I want to look into. I'm not quite sure what I'm supposed to find here necessarily. I mean, it is a really cool redwoods area, but I don't know if there's anything specific I'm supposed to be finding here. Yeah, but what I'm saying, X-Men, even if you can stack the templates, there's no way to easily and quickly, most importantly, select sections of builds. So you would still have to go in hand by hand and select every piece manually, which would take a lot of time, right? If you have to do that over, like, I don't even want to know how many builds I have. If you check my tutorial playlist, I would guess that's probably at least like 50 builds or something, probably more. So that's a lot of builds and potentially a lot of time. And then if I have builds that have ASR foundations, it becomes a whole new problem, because then I guess I would have to make the template, then place the template somewhere, maybe replace the ASR foundations with normal foundations, and then make a template again. So that would involve even more time. So I just need to find the time and kind of dive into the system, which I haven't really done too much yet. I did make the little boathouse that I showed off at the start of the stream. We can quickly go there. The starter base that I made, that is within the limit. It's half of the limit actually, so I was quite happily surprised that I managed to do something at least in the limit. So there is definitely there is some builds that are not big enough, like they are not too big, and that I could instantly turn into a template, and then it's only to check that there's no modded stuff in there. Also, what would you guys prefer? Because sometimes, of course, I decorate them. Would you like them with decorations? Like, for example, all these decorations, would you like those to be in the template? Or would you prefer to have them without that template? Or without the interior in the template? Because, yeah, this one, so this base, which, I mean, it's still a decently sized base, right? You have the little dock for your Thames or boat. And then we have the main building, which is definitely, you could last a little while in here. You know, you could last a little while in here. You could just use this as a base for a long time and just have maybe a dino pen outside to use, and you could probably use this for an entire playthrough. And this is within the limit. This is half of the limit. So yeah, there is probably some builds that I can turn into templates. But then I just need to figure out what is the best way to share templates without it being too crazy and time consuming and everything. So yeah, it's definitely something I want to check out and see how we could make it work. I'll probably also check with like Lance, because I talk to him the most out of all the builders. So like what he's planning to do. I would assume most people would want builds without interior. Yeah, without interior, because I mean, it might look nice the way I decorate, but I just decorate to make it look nice. I don't really decorate these builds to be practical at all. So, although it is also not very difficult to make the template with and without decorations. It's like one toggle, so I could just also make 2 templates, assuming that the interior doesn't bring it over the limit, right? And then probably for the bigger bases, I would always leave the interior out, because let's be honest, if I have to do that as well within already a struggling limit, I probably, yeah, that would get out of hand. So in that case, you would just, if you want the same interior, you could just check out the video or something and see what I've done with the interior, I suppose. I'm also really curious to see, because I mean, I assume PC players will be able to download whatever file I have for my template and then import it. But how does this work for console players? Can console players even use this template feature? Like, if I have a downloadable template, could they even get that onto their console? Look at this nice little cavey for the beavers. So yeah, there's so many things. It's a very cool system in theory, but I just need to get familiar with it and see how to make it work for bigger builds. Unfortunately, it's not working with CKF yet. That would be really cool as well to share, because those are more complicated builds, right? That would be really nice especially for the amount of buildings. And then I could even, if people are okay with that join my, because I have some friends from the community server that join me in those time lapses we do, then we could even share some of those builds. Because I don't make tutorials for builds that I don't do, of course, so those never have a tutorial. But you could still check them out for yourself. A beaver dam base. Yeah, but would you really want to, like, get rid of a beaver dam with the base build? Probably not. Although a dam build could be cool. Like, you could build like a dam on top of one of these waterfalls for like a modern base design. All right, let's check out some more spots if we can find some gems. But I'm pretty sure, you know, that the Jurassic Park island that we saw, that's still the #1 contender for at least my Jurassic Park project, which is one that I want to start very soon. Because especially now they added all the new thatch pieces, Jurassic Park builds are way easier to do nowadays. Also in vanilla, like you have all the extra options. Although you still don't have the options that I would like. But we'll see. We'll see. Is there any good spots up here? I guess there's still a lot of these platforms along the side, right? Because this cliffside kind of is built up in layers. So there's quite a lot of potential to build on one of these shelves. Like this is a pretty decently sized area. Of course, the top of there we were there before. This one is also pretty flat for building. This one also pretty good, and some pretty good surroundings. That one looks really promising. Pretty decent. Well, not entirely flat. And then we come to the desolation of the volcano, and I have questions about this because I have not seen this volcano erupt yet, but I think it can, right? It can erupt and it will damage builds, right? I haven't seen it yet, but I think it can. Because just imagine, there could be a really cool evil castle somewhere up here. Right? You know, build like the big evil castle up here. But I don't want to build it just for it to just get destroyed all the time. Or I'm gonna have to have like Survivor Mate trying to repair my base all the time. I guess that was probably a waste for me to disable the damage for my build. But yeah, this doesn't look like it's erupting, but I think it can. That's... just haven't seen it yet. Would be really cool to see. It throws rocks around the lava zone. All right, yeah, so it is the lava zone. And I would assume those do some damage to the builds. Oh, look at this. There's some caves there too. This is the path. More pathway, yeah. Up the mountain. But yeah, it could be cool. I'm so happy that this looks actually like a volcano area. You know? And not like the center where it was a little bit too green. Like, you still have some greenery here, of course, which is fine in my opinion. But more importantly, the further you go up the mountain, it's definitely a desolation, isn't it? That's good. Good to see. And then we do have some hot springs here, right? Yeah. So even though it's right next to the volcano, there's a potential here for some really nice hot spring, modern, tropical, luxury base. There is potential for that. There is definitely potential. They work like extinction meteors, yeah. So I guess you would potentially get damaged. So maybe not very realistic for a survival build. But if I just want a cool backdrop, why not? Why not? And there we go. We're finally at the Highlands. Now, this is probably one of my favorite areas on the map. It looks amazing. And I think there's definitely another high potential for builds here. Maybe not too close to the Wyvern Trench, but these valleys, they are very nice. I really like the look of them. And especially this area as well with these rocks. I love this part. The river going through here. These rocks. I mean, there's already a bridge in place, but yeah, I think it would be really cool to build a base somewhere here. Not exactly sure what the best spot would be, but like having a base somewhere here, it's just a very cool location, right? Like, yeah, just right over here, for example. Could be really cool. Could be really cool around the bridge. Integrate that. Could even have like a little town with builds on two places. Maybe this is where I should build a Viking town. Right in between these cool rocks. Have some builds going along both sides of this canyon and the river. Could be quite cool. Could be quite cool indeed. And then this right over here, this is where I'm going to be building on my community server. I'll be building a castle here. And the reason why I'm building it right over here is not because there's a little ruin there. It's because the carrots are down here. And I want to keep them safe and make sure that no one builds there. So they keep respawning in the field. Although they are quite hard to spot. I'm not going to lie. Like I was picking them earlier to tame a bison. And they are surprisingly difficult to see with all the greenery here. But yeah, I think that's gonna be... I'm probably gonna start streaming that castle within the next week. I don't know exactly when I'll start. I need to kind of get the right inspiration for the castle before I start. But it's not gonna be too big, but I think that will be nice. Because if you're trying to follow along, it would be nice if it's not like a 10-hour stream, right? Like multiple streams that you have to watch back. So we'll see how long it takes to build. But it's going to be, you know, it is going to be a castle. So it's going to have like a main hall. It's going to have a big tower. It's going to have a little courtyard, you know. So you could keep some dinos safe there, hopefully. And then probably a second building as well. So it's going to be nice, I think. It's going to be nice. But I've been looking at like inspiration for castles in the Highlands. And all you really see is Hogwarts. So it might come out looking a little bit like Hogwarts, but nowhere near as big because... yeah, not doing that again at the moment. Not doing that. But yeah, there's a lot of potential in this area. This is really cool. So I could definitely see me doing multiple builds. This is another really cool spot. I guess this would be a really cool place for a Viking town as well. Because then you could have like Viking at the beach, right? Like you could have the docks and stuff. I feel like that makes sense to have. So maybe that is going to be the Viking place so that we have the backdrops of the Highlands and we can do a Viking build in that bay. We got a cave here as well. It's not really something you would turn into a base, I suppose, unless you want to do an ocean base. But yeah, this is a really cool area. And then we have, of course, a lighthouse here. Don't really think I would want to turn that into base, although you could definitely build a base right next to that, right? Like there is some potential to be just building right here. Lots of nice purple flowers around too, which is quite exciting. And then, I mean, yeah, there's loads of cool areas here because this place just looks very nice. Like this is a good spot. This is relatively flat. Some amazing views in the distance of those exciting areas, and yeah, a good area here to build. Good area. And then of course we have the whole new island, which is another island which is really good for building, right? There's so much space here, so much space. It's a lot of flat areas as well, with some nice hills here and there to work with. You even have the ruins here as well. You have another lighthouse. Another little lighthouse has been added, which is quite exciting. I don't actually know. Is there anything in these lighthouses? I guess just a staircase up. I guess you could turn this into a small base, right? If you want to live in the lighthouse. Is there anything at the top? Just a platform. I guess you could still park flies here and jump out. But yeah, there's a lot of flat area in this part of the map. These two new islands feel very good for building. There's so many flat areas. You're building at, what is it, 16.2? So that's over this height. And then at, oh, so that's where I just was, roughly. Oh no, that's here. Oh, that's on that. Yeah, this island, this is a good island to build at, to be honest. Just because it's so flat in most spaces. Like, there's a lot of room for building activities here, right? There's a lot of space. Like, so much space. All the space in the world. Giant lake as well. That's pretty nice. But yeah, there's so much building space. You could build everything here. Never go anywhere else. Just build everything on this island. Yeah, this is a pretty good spot as well. Lots of potential. I'm not quite sure what I want to build here. There's a lot of different builds that I would like to do. And it's kind of figuring out which ones I want to do first. Which ones are really exciting me right now to get building. Oh, there's even a little separate island here. This is a good island to just claim as a base, right? This is got your own little herbivore island, it looks like. Nothing really too dangerous spawning here. Unless maybe they can, but doesn't look like it. Looks very peaceful up here. And you've got a beautiful view of the rest of the map. Don't think it didn't notice the thumbnail. What? I'm just looking at build locations. Just looking at build locations. And that's an iconic castle, right? There we go. Yeah, that's so much good. Fishing hut build on stream at the new island lake. Yeah, but I don't know if I want to build like a little hut here, because what if I want to build like something crazy back here and then there's a little hut in the way? I always want to see if it would be possible to take a map and fill it entirely with builds like a major city. Well, you can, but at some point, people are gonna start dropping off because they can't handle lag. So first to suffer our PlayStation and Xbox, of course. They won't handle it. And then at some point, PCs are starting to not being able to handle it. And then only the people with the best PCs have a chance. And then, well, depending on how crazy you go. I mean, at some point, everyone is going to suffer, basically. Although, I must say, with 5.5, at least for me, performance has been pretty steady. I haven't really getting any lag. Yeah, the problem with the blueprints, Johnny, is that most of my builds are too big. And this comes as a huge shock to me, because I'm not known for building big bases, of course. I never really built big. But somehow they're all above the limit, because the limit is only 2,000. Which, I mean, I get why there has to be a limit. I really get why there has to be a limit. But I feel like if the official build limit is like 5,500... it would have been nice if it was closer to 5,000, for example. So you could do like your whole base on official, basically. But I guess I understand why they had to limit it. But maybe they will raise it at some point. Maybe it's just to test if it actually works as intended. And they went safe. Oh, this is a pretty nice spot here as well. Look at this. Lovely little lake with a waterfall. You have some nice cliffs. I would like to build on this cliff. Look at the view you should have from here, man. If your house is on this cliff. Amazing views. Amazing views. And then I guess this goes up into the snow again. Yeah, there we go. Very cool waterfall river flowing down. Yeah, you could probably join them. The problem is the way you make the templates is either you select everything and then hope that it fits and then it works very nicely, or you have to manually go in and select piece by piece, which it's just going to be very time consuming with the amount of builds that I already have. So, and then you also have to remember, okay, this section ended here and there, and then the next section is going to start there and there. I haven't tested yet if the stacking actually works. That is something that I just need to go and test, but that might take a while, because first I'm just going to enjoy Rag and build some things, right? But the problem is with Rag, there's so many cool spots. Ooh, these locations are quite nice as well. Look at these. Like, you've got nice flat areas here everywhere. What's going on? What's going on, PC? Why are you complaining? Yeah, there's a lot of nice spots here as well. I like these redwoods as well. I built here in ASC. I built in this cave in ASC, which is quite nice. But I wasn't really too much into building them, surprisingly. Also because I just didn't really play ARK that much. Only on and off. This valley as well. This is a really nice valley. I think you could definitely do some really cool builds, and it's kind of nice to have an opening like this in the redwoods, because of course you can't take out redwood trees, so normally it's quite dense, but this one feels quite open. So there's definitely a lot of potential here. I also kind of feel like doing like a Wookiee treehouse village, or at least some tree houses. It's been a while since I did a treehouse build, but yeah. This waterfall alone, this view of this waterfall, that's worth something. That's worth. PC decided yesterday that was the right day for my water pump to die. Oh no, that sucks. I mean, Ewok or Wookiee, both could be done, but Wookiees also live in trees. They also live in trees, so could be both. Could be both. Okay, what is this? 74. Wait. Oh, you live at the other Wyvern Trench. So somewhere here-ish. Yeah, that's pretty cool. I would be scared that it would fly over. Yeah, Wookiees live in trees. Haven't you watched the prequels? But yeah, there's so many spots. This is my problem, guys. Ever since yesterday, I've been trying to decide what to build first. Of course, I did my little starter build on the beach. And then I was like, and what now? Where do I go? Where do I build? What do I build? There's so much good potential locations that I'm honestly just a bit overwhelmed in picking one to do. So yeah, I really don't know. There's some really cool lakes. Like, you could build a lake town. Could do a lake town build. Could do a lake town build. I don't have time to play games, never mind TV. Yeah, but that's been out for years, mate. I think that turned like 20 years, those movies. This castle is pretty cool as well, this ruin. I think I really want to rebuild this at some point. This is my server. I can build whatever I want here. There's no one else to suffer. No one else will suffer except me. These are some nice spots as well. Like this beach, this nice and flat. Got some pretty cool views. Spot to do boss fights right next door. Cool little new mountain that they added. Yeah, there's a lot of potential. This is another good spot, isn't it? Big area. Big flat-ish area that you could definitely build. Yeah, the Bison Ranch, I do feel like the Bison Ranch is a high potential to build. Kind of just need to figure out a good spot for it. Honestly, this could be a decent spot, because I think there's a potential of bison spawning here. Although I guess you don't really have to build the bison thing right next to the bison spawns. But yeah, bison ranch might actually be, because I like the bison, I really like them, so I feel like that might be good. Okay, now we're to the desert, which is fitting because the Scorched Earth team is just playing. So yeah, there's definitely... Oh, death worm. It's so nice to have a map again with all these different biomes, and then we also have the desert here. There we go. This desert potential. So desert builds are back on the menu as well. If you want to build like another pyramid, we could do. Oh, there's another death worm here, I think. Yes. It's a little bit flatter desert, which is quite nice, right? Feels a bit different than the one we know from Scorched Earth. But yeah, definitely also a nice place. So we got some little bit of canyons out here. Lots of room for building, although probably kind of dangerous with death worms around. And then we have this ruin as well, right? Like this is a really cool spot too. Very big ruin as well, with like different parts to it to rebuild. Yeah, do a tech base. Yeah, how to build my tech base, and then it's just clicking the box to build all the squares. Would be refreshing. Less effort for me. And then we have these ruins. I would love to do a rebuild project here, but yeah, it's going to be challenging with rooms being this kind of steep on the inside. Because you're gonna have to be just creating layers everywhere, aren't you? Just layers up to layers into layers. But it is a pretty cool spot, and there's a lot here. Like this is a big ruin, and there's definitely potential here because you have a lot of inside room there to utilize. I mean, you can even breed dinos in there. And then the platform right in front, you could easily add some nice buildings. And you go up here as well, add some builds to it. Like, look at the amount of space. Oh, we just witnessed the murder. But there's so much space in here to utilize. Build in something. Even have a nice little pool, cool views, and then of course, I mean, yeah, you have more rooms. There's so much space in these, and I guess the challenge in rebuilding these would be trying to make sure there's a way to get to all the different areas. And then you have this beautiful platform in the front, which you could definitely, you know, use like your landing platform for your wyverns and stuff like that, because you have a lot of space, lots of places. Add some like greenery with either painting thatch or adding in some fake grass with skins, making some lovely gardens. Your luxury paradise oasis in the desert is waiting for you. I built here in the AC as well. This was one of my favorite spots to build when I wanted to do deserty things. And I guess you also have the village, tiny little village that you could rebuild into a base. It kind of has already a compound, right? Already kind of has these walls in place to keep you safe-ish, and you could start rebuilding these structures. Oh, and jaboas are going to be nice here as well, because they're not going to be purring all the time. So yeah, and we have a bridge. I swear that this bridge used to have a destroyed section, because I'm pretty sure that I remember trying to rebuild that section in AC. But yeah, building a dome on one of those platforms and the desert ruins, yeah, that would be nice. Basically emulating a bit of these domes that you have to the side. If you build that somewhere over there, you could build something cool. Yeah, there is weather, but I don't know if it is like actually gonna activate their thing. I hope not. Because the weather is not everywhere, right? Because if there's a desert storm here, it's not going to be everywhere on the map, surely. Unless they figured out a way how to do regional weather. That would be insane. And I guess that would be worth having the Jaboas purr again. And then we have this whole different area as well, which has a very different aesthetic to it. And there's dragons. There be dragons. But yeah, we got this canyon with once again more waterfalls. More waterfalls. There's definitely some really cool potential locations here as well. This would be a cool spot. Maybe not too big, but you could easily defend it, and you have some amazing surrounding views. I think it's getting nighttime, so let's make sure that we have some clear skies again. But yeah, there's so much to this. Building on one of these platforms, that would actually be quite nice as well, right? It's quite safe. Again, nice. Oh geez, nice views. Nice views. There'd be dragons in my views though. But yeah, this goes on forever. There's probably also hidden caves here, right? Yeah, because it's like underneath section already. A nice big canyon leading all the way over there to those lands back to where the wyverns are. And yeah, there's probably even more locations. I like this one. This looks like the Pride Rock from The Lion King. Feels like a really cool location too. And not even a bad spot to build at. This is workable. Very nice spots here. Pretty big and flat. This is exactly my point. There is so many great locations to build at that I'm kind of just a little bit stuck on picking a location. I do like the idea of building a ranch and building a bison ranch, so I'm definitely going to look in some inspiration for ranches after this stream, and you know, probably get that going, because that sounds exciting, but also because I really enjoy running around on my bison right now. So yeah. Can you recommend must-have build and deco mods that are definitely needed and you always have active? I always have ASR, Architect Structures Remastered, and I don't really use that much of ASR in most of my builds because I try to be accessible to the most amount of people. But even if you don't plan on going too modded with the builds, what I use it mostly for is just having the foundation snap in a better way and in more like height, a little bit more height to them, so that more locations are easily buildable with them, and you can also stack the foundations, which makes it so that you're never running into the problem where you're trying to lay down your foundation and all of a sudden you can't make it fit, you know. So yeah, that's something I really like. And if you want to go modded, ASR has basically a giant extension to the normal build system. There's so many new pieces. Even though we just got some extra pieces in vanilla, there's so many more pieces. It has so many good things, quality of life things, as you say, like floating foundations. You have even you can even do them in the sky and stuff. Like, you have so many crazy options with ASR. Then recently I've really enjoyed CKF, Castle, Keeps and Forts. It's very similar in the fact that it allows you to do a lot more, and of course it's great for medieval builds. If you want to do anything medieval, that is the mod. If you don't want to use skins, and when I first started working with CKF, I was so surprised and refreshed by the fact of actually building with a building mod again instead of skins, because you don't have to build it and then go through it all again and skin it. It just instantly looks amazing. So that's definitely one that I really like. But it leans very much into a specific style, of course. So that only really works if you want to go medieval, although you could probably also blend it into different build styles. What is this? That looks weird. But that's really good. And if you do medieval builds, then the Castlecraft Deco mod, which is like a server-side mod, which has a lot of decoration pieces, is really good if you do medieval building, although you could probably use some of the decorations for more builds. I use a lot of Western deco, mostly because of the hay in there, which is always nice to decorate, especially for dino pens. Just having some hay bales and stuff lying around and some hay on the ground. It's always a nice little addition. So that's one I always have. And other than that, I always have the variant cycle gun to help me with skins if I do use custom cosmetics. And if you're talking about custom cosmetics, there's like a whole other box of skins. I'm very bad at control. I just buy any. As soon as I see one piece, I buy a skin pack quite easily, which is not the best habit, but it's what I tend to do, you know. Yeah, the problem with ASA parts not being able to be skinned is just because they're not in the game, so the skin doesn't have an option for it. Which is too bad, but I mean ASR itself already has variants as well, so different looks, so you can still do quite a lot. And don't forget the power of painting. This could be a wrench spot, yeah. This definitely could be a wrench. This is quite nice. I like this valley too. To be fair, I found a lot of wrench locations, but this is quite good. Some nice views. Although I guess it kind of depends, because I'm probably, you know, ranch is going to be a little bit like potentially a little bit western leaning. And I kind of like this location as well for a ranch, if it loads in. Quite nice. Next to the river. Because it has a lot of land, flat land around it, so I could imagine the bison, you know, we would probably have like a ranch and then a little pen next to it, right? But you could imagine them roaming the valley, because there's a lot of space for roaming. So yeah, I think somewhere in this valley, right next to Grenoble, might be where I end up. Quite like this location. Little river, lovely views, the mountains in the surroundings, elephants as well. Yeah, I think this might be. So at least I've decided, I think, where to build the ranch, which is good. And we've decided that I should definitely start building a ranch. I think another build that I want to do is some kind of griffin pen. I think that's probably another one that I would kind of like to do, just because I mean it's nice to have the griffins finally back into the game, and I think it will be fun trying to design something that fits them. You know, make like a little pen. And I recently did the Rex pen, and I quite liked designing something with a specific creature in mind. Of course, you could then pick the design and use it for different dinos, because I mean, if you build something for a griffin, there's probably you know, there's probably different tames that you could have inside. But yeah, I would love to do a griffin pen. A big globe aviary. Yeah, I mean, you can kind of make circles now with the tools. The problem is that would involve still clipping, right? So, I don't know. Those were the days. Yeah, but see, for where I'm building, I don't really keep the survival aspect in mind, because I'm just building here in creative, and if it looks nice in this spot, that's all I really care about. So I think this might have to be the spot where I build the bison ranch, and then the griffin pen or the griffin base. I feel like that kind of needs to be on like a cliff or something. Could potentially just build that somewhere here. It's a pretty cool looking griffin there. Because I feel like that needs to feel like a griffin's nest. Maybe not like in looks, but just in placement. I feel like it needs to be somewhere. Maybe up here in the mountains, right? And I wouldn't mind doing it close to the bison ranch. That doesn't matter too much. So maybe we'll find a good spot close here. Because this is a griffin spawn location. So that makes sense. Right, if we have it somewhere here. I guess this could be a spot. I don't know. It's not really flat, so might be a little bit tricky. I mean, I guess you could just build it there. Yeah, there's so many options. But yeah, the griffin and the bison, I like that idea to do that. Because that feels fitting, you know, to celebrate Ragnarok's release. Building something for specifically those creatures. I guess we could, if we do based on griffins. Yeah, so where I just was, that's a big griffin spot. Then we have it here and we have it there. So I do think it would make sense for me to build it somewhere here. Because we can probably fit a decent build somewhere over here. Holy damn, what the heck is that? If you're looking for queen bees, just found a few of them. Holy damn. That's all the bees you'll ever need. In one rock. Yeah, because it would be quite cool to be like high up in the mountain for the griffins. Because we could potentially start the build and maybe have like a cliff platform to expand the cliff side. So not necessarily just building on the cliff platform, but more to give you more space if we need it. Although I guess if we build it here, could we make it? I don't know. Kind of depends on what kind of style we'll build it at. But I feel like having it up high in the mountains, potentially we could also just build it up here. Because I feel like that is relatively flat up there if we take out the trees. Then it would be top of the mountain. So that feels like a nest. Would be nice. Maybe we'll go for a round design for that. So we really can kind of emulate a nest. That would be quite cool. So yeah, that's two decisions have been made. I'll be building a bison pen or bison ranch and pen and a griffin stables or nest or whatever. And then if I do a western town, I'm probably going to build that here. Little western town, train station, stuff like that. Connected up to the ranch. That island is going to be the Jurassic Park island. There in the distance, next to the swamp. One of the new islands. So definitely we're moving forward. I've made some decisions. Then all I need to do is where to start. Where to start. And if you didn't see it yet, on my YouTube channel, there's if you go to the community tab or the post, I think it's posts, you should see a poll there to vote for which ruin I should rebuild. Or you can leave suggestions for ruins that aren't on the poll. I could only add 4. I mean, I will probably be rebuilding more of them, like multiple of them, but we have to start somewhere, basically. So we need to pick one. Oh yeah, it's really a lot of cool locations on this map, isn't there? So yeah, I know I'm happy. So we have the Jurassic Park location, we have Bison Ranch, we have Griffin's Nests, we have what do we have? What else do we have? Oh yeah, Viking base we could potentially do down here on the beach. I feel like that feels very Viking to me. I kind of don't really have any ideas yet for modern builds. So this map doesn't really scream modern builds to me. I probably will do them because people always like modern builds, but yeah, need to kind of figure out where they fit in without standing out too much. I guess you could always fit in a modern build somewhere. Maybe we'll do I don't know where would we do a modern build? Oh, up here could also be a potential location for the Griffin's Nest. Which still would make sense, because there is also griffins here, I think, in this valley. Mostly over here I've seen. There we go. There's one over there. So yeah, that wouldn't be too bad. Oh, actually, they're right here as well. So yeah, building it up there would also be an option. Oh yeah, I forgot there's a hole in there. The lighthouse hasn't moved. The lighthouse is still in the same spot. The lighthouse is still in the same spot. Still, if it pops into view, there we go. Still right over here. Still right over here. Right above the cave. They're both here. They're both here. There's multiple lighthouses now on the map. There's also a lighthouse on the new island. So there's also one here. Yeah, right there, there's another lighthouse. So there's just 2 lighthouses on this side of the map. Yeah, the castle build, well, we'll have the community center that I'm building is going to be a castle that's going to be around this location. I guess another castle location, because I do want to try to build one with the castle craft structure skins, because that will make it easier for any official players watching videos and also wanting a castle, which I assume they will, because I mean, I've been always getting questions about when I'm going to do a castle tutorial. So I guess we'll need another castle location. I feel like building a castle somewhere up higher could be cool. Maybe we'll do that somewhere along the canyon. Because there's quite a few spots here, right? We probably want a decently flat spot, so maybe somewhere up here we could build a castle. Maybe here. This is a decent... That feels like a decent platform. So yeah, that's definitely another build that we probably should do, and this is what I mean, because now all of a sudden already I'm gonna be building a bison ranch and pen. I'm gonna be building a griffin's nest. I'm gonna be building a CKF castle. I'm gonna be building a castlecraft castle. I'm gonna be building Jurassic Park. And I probably want to build some Viking builds, because it's Ragnarok after all. It feels like you should have some Viking builds, and it's been quite some time since I did any. So all of a sudden I'm building a lot of different things. So yeah, I guess I'm gonna be quite busy. I'm gonna be quite busy. All right, we're 74:35. Oh, I see griffins everywhere now on the map. 74:35. Let's go for that. $74. This one, yeah, that's a really good spot actually. Yeah, there could be a castle here. Right next to the Wyvern Trench. I actually quite like that for a castle location. Yeah, we might build it here. castle crafts castle. And that should be safe, because they tend to fly mostly around this rock, right? Like they might spread it out, but I mean, it doesn't really matter too much for me anyway, if I'm building in creative. Holy dang, that's a good looking wyvern. Look at that. That's amazing. That's some really nice color regions. Anyway, enough distraction for now. But yeah, I think a castle. Castle. A lot of castles in there, but yeah, that would definitely be a cool spot. A wizard's tower would be cool. The necrotic dominion mod. I don't know if I would have that mod on here. Hello there. Glad you caught a live stream, and glad you like the tutorials. That's why I make them. Only time I grab aggro is when to get ARKs. Yeah, okay, but that's yeah. And I mean, in the worst case, you just have some defenses, right? Like if you have a few turrets, you're probably good to go. Although not very castle-y, but hey, you gotta give and take. But yeah, I feel like this could be a really cool castle location, because potentially we would have enough room to build like a main building in the castle, like the keep, which you could use as like your survival base, so with all the storage, crafting, and all the needs. And you kind of want to have a decent castle grounds around it, like with a nice wall, right? So that you have a walled off area that you could utilize for your breeding, etc. And this one is not going to run into too many problems with the terrain, because yeah, this is very flat indeed. And once you clear out the rocks and the trees, you'll be able to build something quite nice here, I think. I mean, there's even some height options if we wanted to, but probably the main platform is the best option. So that means I'm gonna have to start writing this down, where I want to do what. No, I think we got it covered. We have the Jurassic Park Island. We have this, which is Wyvern Trench, or Wyvern Cave. We have the Sea Cave Castle, I already know, because that's already on the community server. The location is already marked. We have Bison Ranch. We have the Griffin's Nests. Viking builds. All I really need is to decide which ruin we will start rebuilding, so we have another project. And then I guess I still need to kind of maybe decide where I would want to do a modern base, so that I've got a lot of variety to work on, which is, I think, nice for me, because then if I don't feel like building one thing, I might still be, you know, in the mood to build another thing, which is always quite nice. And then I have time to, whilst I'm working on all these builds, to maybe find like a cool cave, because a cool cave build would be nice as well. And there's a few cool caves here on Ragnarok specifically, of course, that could be potential cool build locations. With a town on the flat area, yeah, that's a cool spot. You've got a lot of room there. There's a lot of space there to build. That's very, very nice. But yeah, there's definitely some cool caves as well, potential to build some cool bases with. I keep forgetting where they are, and then I keep accidentally basically running into the caves again, and I'm like, yeah, this could be a cool build. But yeah, there's a lot of maybe there's too many good build locations. So I'm going to be working on my base location video, of course, but there's so much. There's just so much. I don't want to make it too early, because then I feel like I'm going to be like 2 days later and be like, oh no, I missed these other 50 spots. I don't know how many spots. There's probably going to be a lot of spots. But yeah, there's a lot of potential on this map for building, which is cool, which is exciting, because now I'm not too bothered about the next map release too much because I'm going to be busy for a while here, right? Like, there's a lot to build. A lot to build. Yeah, for PvE, if you just want to build in cool places, this is the dream, right? Like, there's basically an unlimited amount of cool places to build in. So many. So many. I guess one of the locations that could be cool as well, isn't this cave quite big? I mean, it's quite dangerous as well, of course. This is right next to where the wyverns live. Maybe this isn't the cave that I saw. Could be. I don't know. So many caves. But yeah, that's helped me a lot. Because I was actually not going to stream today because I hadn't decided what to build yet. But I feel like this has been very helpful to me. To kind of decide what to build, where to build. And not go too crazy. Opening of the cave into an aviary and use the cave itself as a secret lair. Yeah. There's a lot of caves. Massive cave near Viking Bay. Yeah, there's so many cool caves. There's no cave here. I always check waterfalls just in case. Because there's actually quite a few caves behind waterfalls, which is quite nice. I think I know the cave in the Viking Bay. I keep getting sidetracked, but that is the Viking Bay. Do you mean this one behind the waterfall? Because this one is quite nice. This definitely has base potential. Because there's also decent light in here, right? Like, you're not living in the dark. You have definitely space for your water tames. A nice natural path up. And I mean, you would probably build the main base on this ledge. And potentially, if you build here, you could maybe keep that metal spawn on the other side. Potentially. So, definitely not a bad shout to build in here. I guess you couldn't swim into the ocean, but at least you could breed them, I guess. Wait, so there's another one in the hills passed by a huge lake with the ruins? You mean this lake? This is with the ruins, right? Is there a cave here too? Oh, is this... Oh, geez, is this a cave? Damn, this is huge. Oh my lord, this is a huge cave. This is almost too big, right? Because I don't know if this thing's spawning down here, but... Otherwise it might get tricky, but it doesn't feel like there's a lot spawning here. But yeah, there's a lot of space here. Oh yeah, this is big, man. This is deep water. You can do you can even do chestas in here. You can do anything. That's a good one. And I guess you have multiple entrances because I mean that's a flying entrance. You have a water and a land entrance as well? Damn, do you? Wait, but this is closed off, right? No, this is not closed off. So is this going to go to another section? Yes, so there's even more water in here. Oh, jeez. Oh, I guess this might be then the way out. Yes, and that's... Could that lead you out? Yeah, I guess that would lead you out. Damn, that's a pretty good cave. That's a pretty darn good cave, isn't it? I think I've been here actually. Just, it's so hard to keep track of where I've been. Probably a smart me would just write these down, because then I'm gonna try and make the location video, and then I'm gonna be like, well, I don't actually know anymore. But yeah, this center part, like this with the light here, this is nice. This is where I'd probably build in here. Cool views, the light beams coming in and everything. Yeah, I could add markers. I should probably do that, but in general, I'm quite decent at remembering the spots on the map. But yeah, this is quite good. This is quite good. This is quite exciting indeed. And I guess there's not really any spawns in here except some fish. Fish are friends. But yeah, this is nice because it's not too dark in most places here. Like, you don't need constant lights to see something, basically. And is there no creature spawns in here? That's surprising. Oh, there's another entrance here. Oh, I guess this is the land entrance. No creature spawns is quite nice. And this is a pretty cool area as the map as well, with the ruins above you and stuff. Always nice. Nice visual to explore. For some more jungly vibes. I actually also quite like the fact that there's some like singular redwood trees that you could build in these areas. Yeah, I should probably add some markers, but I'm gonna try and record the location video tomorrow, so I think I'll be able to remember them. And I mostly just need to decide what number of base locations I'm gonna go for. Am I only picking 10? Then it's gonna be very challenging to pick just 10. Probably gonna be at least 20, right? Because it's quite easy to get to 20 locations on this map. But it's probably gonna be more like 30. To be honest, like, there's so many good spots. But maybe we should just go absolutely crazy. Maybe we should just go for 50 bases, because then we can have a nice variety of like every type of possible location. I don't know if we'll get to 50. That's a lot. That's a lot of places, but that's what I feel right now. Yeah, there's also a lake. There's also a lake with a little rune right next to where the snow and ice begins. There we go. This could be pretty nice, I suppose, because you still have a water pen around you. Rebuild the ruin. It's not very big, but I guess you could also build next to it, because this platform right there, that's pretty decent. A decent size. And then you have the nice snow lake. This could actually also be a pretty cool location, right? Just building on top of here. If you want to live in the snow. Got a cool lake. Some ice, glaciers in the distance, which is a nice view, and looking down over the Viking Bay. And I guess there's some more. Oh, this is actually a good spot as well, like nice flattish. Yeah, 20, you're definitely gonna get at least easily 20 locations on Ragnarok, for sure. For sure. Definitely. There's so many cool spots. Kind of depends, of course, and that's what I like to do with a base location video, because it really depends on what kind of base you want to be building, right? Like, if you just want a lot of flat space, that's all the locations that matter for you. But some people are happy just with a good view and they'll make it work. Yeah, murder snow might be a thing. That's what we were saying earlier. Is it even possible to survive in the murder snow? But is this already murder snow? Is this already? Because I'm not farting my butt off here. I guess it is still cold, but I I thought the main murder snow was the other bigger region over there. Even with 100 fortitude, still die in that. Because I love the way this snow biome looks, but is it really? Yeah, okay, this is minus 42. Okay, so there's a big difference, big difference. So this is actually very, very cold, which is a little bit of a shame, not gonna lie, because it's such a nice area. But I guess this also the ice wyvern spawns here, right? Somewhere. Last time I was here, there was wyverns everywhere. I guess they've gone into hiding. Or are more spawns broken? No, there are some ice wyvern on the map. Just not a lot. And none here. But I guess they could spawn here. I like that they fixed... Yeah, because they seem to be like... always close to their nest, right? They kind of circle their nests now. There's a hidden valley up by the ruined castle near Viking Bay. You mean that one? Yeah, this is a pretty nice valley as well. Definitely want to build here too. What? Look down. To the right, to the right. There's a lot of potential here. It's a very nice location. It feels very peaceful here, and it's always cool to have like the glimpses of the castle in the background. Although I guess I'm definitely at some point going to rebuild this castle, right? Like this is the most iconic castle of Ragnarok. Just gonna have to spawn proof the place so that these guys are not harassing me all the time. But I guess it would be a really cool place. And I mean, technically, if we're talking about cool caves, isn't this cave under here is so crazily cool now? I think this, you can access it from here, right? Oh geez. Gonna get lost in the castle. Gonna get lost. Yeah, that castle is hard to clear. Yeah, which is why I did not include it in the list of runes to rebuild right now, because I feel like you would be mostly just trying to clear the spawns. It is quite cool. And then this eventually... Oh geez, it is quite dark still here. Oh no, it isn't. This is very weird. I am in the water, but it's crazily clear. There we go. We're getting to a cave. This is the cave. Because this cave is huge, isn't it? Like, I guess there's definitely potential to build here. Assuming you can build. I guess on PvP settings you would be able to build. I don't know if in PvE would you be able to build down here? Because this is a cool cave with lots of potential. And lots of like different looking areas with all the different crystals and mushrooms that glow. And then these sections where you have a lot of natural light come in. I guess it's quite dangerous down here, but it is definitely quite a unique location to live and build in. I mean, just look at the setting. Oh, Moria. Yes, yes. And they call it a mine. yeah, this you would probably get lost quite a few times trying to get in and out of your base. But I mean, there's definitely potential. And some spots like this feels like daylight. This is very clear. So yeah, definitely lots of potential. Just have to be able to find your way out, I guess. Oh wait, I could go up here. Oh look. Oh wait, this is also an artifact cave. Oh, maybe you can't build in every. I found an artifact. Look at that. It did it. I didn't even know that this was also an artifact cave. I guess it makes sense because it's such a big cave. Yeah, you could also teleport out, but that means you can't do that until you've either you know, beat the boss, or you transfer over an old character, of course. Okay, now I still need to find my way out. That's gonna be the next challenge. And I kind of would like not to go and swim again. And there's supposedly multiple ways in and out, right? Or this is where I live now. This is my home. I'm once again stuck in a cave. It feels like we're going up. That's a good sign. Unless that's a dead end. Yeah, this is, I guess, now where I have to build everything, because this is my life now. There are some really pretty spots here, though, with the glow. The glow works so well here. Oh. Am I finding a way? Feels like we're going up higher. It feels like it was loading something in, maybe the world. Or more cave. No, we found the world. There we go. We did it. We're free. We can build outside again. There we go. Yeah, so we've there's definitely a lot of options. Definitely a lot of options. So I guess let's go back to my little starter base, and then yeah, still pro gamers, still pro gamer levels. Let's have like a little nice view whilst I quickly make notes of my ideas before I have a brain fart and forget all about this. So, kind of in order, I suppose. We want to be building the bison ranch. We want to be building a griffin nest, or well, pen, something griffin related. Then we have a location for a CKF castle. We also have a location for a castlecraft castle. So we have two potential castles that we can build. There's going to be a lot of castle building. Then a bison griffin combo base. What I'll probably do for the ranch and the barn or stables that I built there is making sure that you can fit both like bison and griffin inside, but I probably will theme it around the bison, because I think I've got some cool ideas for a specific griffin build too. So we have the castles, and then we have Jurassic Park, very important. We can finally start the Jurassic Park series I've been meaning to start forever. A Viking build we definitely want to do. Viking. And then, did we find any other things? I mean, a ruin. We're definitely going to do ruins. Just need to figure out which one, but I guess we got a poll. I'll probably see what that does. What else? Did we have more ideas than that? I mean, that's already a lot of things. That's already going to keep me busy for quite some time. So, I mean, maybe an ocean base we should have at some point too. And potentially a cave base, I guess. So many bases. We're going to be building non-stop. The next few weeks, months, years, we're going to be busy. We're going to be building. We're going to be building all the things, left and right, everywhere. We'll do plenty of it. Plenty of it. I do hope, I don't know where, depends on where you're from, I suppose. But right now, it's quite hot where I live. And my room is definitely not made for that. So, I'm overheating here. But at least now I've got ideas. I can get started searching around for like cool ranches in real life or shows, movies, I don't know. We'll do some bison research and get a cool build going. But yeah, we're looking at my little boathouse starter base. This tutorial I've just recorded today that will be up in the next few days. I'll be working on a base location video tomorrow. I think I will do that. And then I think tomorrow evening or Monday evening or both, I don't know, we'll do another stream and then we'll start with one of these builds. We'll start building one of these. So that's going to be exciting. Exciting builds. Exciting builds. And then definitely within the next week, we'll be starting one of the castles. Probably the CKF castle first. Because I want to build that as the community center for my community server. So I want to get that up so that people that play on my community server can go and visit that. And we can utilize that and stuff like that. So that's going to be exciting. Then I've also recently done a Greek build challenge for my community. So sometime soon we're going to look at those results. And I'm going to have a video about that too. So exciting things, but of course lots of Ragnarok coming up. Also, I've got a question. I asked this yesterday in the stream as well. I kind of feel like I want a survival again. It's been a while since I've done proper survival. Should I start a survival series, either streaming or videos? Yes or no? I'd love to hear your opinion. I don't know. Probably I wouldn't start it right away. There's definitely a lot of building to do, but I like to, you know, start some survival as well. And we could potentially do some building in there, you know? Who knows? But I feel like it would be a shame not to survival on Rag, because I have never done that cave that is in the desert with I don't know, people called it the labyrinth. It sounds fun. Sounds like it would be fun watching me struggle to get through that. There we go. You kind of want to focus a little bit closer on my lovely builds. So yeah, I think we're gonna call it a day here for this stream, because it's way too hot now, and we I think we've covered most of Ragnarok. I've got a lot of building ideas now, and I will start doing my research. If you're wondering how do I do my research, usually I just go on Google or Pinterest or stuff like that, and I start just looking up concept art. I do a lot of concept art searches, especially for like castles and stuff. And well, Jurassic Park is going to be easy, right? It's just going to look at like screenshots from the movies, maybe rewatch the movie again, have an excuse to do that. And for ranches, yeah, ranches, I'm probably just going to also Google real life ranches. Kind of depends whether we're going a nowadays ranch or we're going to go more a Western themed ranch, or blended somewhere in the middle. We'll see. And sometimes we freestyle builds, but so it's nice to get some inspirations. The runes are always kind of freestyling, because kind of depends on the rune, right? And it's more fitting, trying to fit the shapes in there, trying to do that. But yeah, very exciting. Anyway, guys, thank you so much for joining me today in today's stream. I hope you enjoyed. You definitely helped me out making some decisions, getting some locations on there, and I hope you had fun as well looking at Ragnarok, exploring Ragnarok with me to brainstorm for potential build locations. Oh, actually, a tree house is probably something I should also write down, because I kind of feel like I want to do a treehouse build again at some point. It's been a while, and Ragnarok has a lot of cool options for tree houses. So I feel like that's one that needs to be on the list too. It deserves a spot. Deserves a spot. Anyway, thank you so much for joining me today. Hopefully you did enjoy. If you did, don't forget to leave a like, subscribe to my channel if you haven't already, and if you're looking to host your own server for Ragnarok, there's a link well pinned in the chat right now, but it's also in the description if you want to host a server, and that helps me out, supports the channel, so that's a great way to help me doing what I do. And then I hopefully will see you around in the next videos. There's going to be a lot of videos coming up, of course. Ragnarok videos all around. And yeah, building again on stream and in videos very soon. Oh, we had a build tutorial today already, but building streams back probably tomorrow or Monday. So hope to see you there. Thanks for joining me today, and I'll see you in the next one. Goodbye.